Coming up on Half Mile of Hell.
You idiots! Right there in the barn.
Who was in there?
I know who the last person to get a bale of hay out of there was.
Oh, your worship. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm Marc Fraser. And it was quite a feast for my eyes looking at those wonderful, gorgeous women from the state of Alberta.
It's the West's original extreme sport. 4 horses hitched to a wagon, racing hell-bent for leather around a half-mile track. The stakes are high, and disaster is only a heartbeat away. These are the Cowboys, and these are their stories. So hang on tight, because you're about to ride the Half Mile of Hell. It's time to pack up and hit the road for the summer. Ahead lies a grueling 11-week tour of wagon racing. Leaving home is tough for driver Rick Fraser, especially since his crew is now short on a couple of family members.
It's getting to be a little bit different for us because our kids are growing up and starting to go in their own direction and do what they want to do instead of what we want to do. So I got a feeling that we could get a little lonely here for a while.
A definite change is in the air. For the first time, 2 of his 3 children will not join the family for the racing season. The 12-hour drive to the next event will give him lots of time to reflect on the past.
Holy cool.
Just about set and ready to go. Fiverr, here they are on the Chuckwagon Radio Network.
There's the horn. They're off in a flash.
Rick flew out of the gates in Grand Prairie. Night after night, he raced clean and strong in front of his hometown crowd.
But it's Rick Fraser. He's out in front by a length and a half. Rick Fraser!
At the end of night number 4, he captured the aggregate award and qualified for the championship dash. But victory would escape him on the final night. 5th place in the world standings is an impressive start, especially considering the additional demands on Rick when competing at home.
Oh, there's a fair amount of distraction in our own city, yeah. You need to make appearances and be personable, and treat sponsors and their families the way you want to be treated. But it's a community thing that I believe that we need to do.
Rick Fraser is a true ambassador of the sport. It's a role that will keep his summer very busy, both on and off the track.
The louder you cheer, the quicker you'll get here. Here comes Chad Harden and the horses of Troy Boy, but they're not going to catch the 3-time world champion. Grabner and Amigo Lie 2. Chad Harden and Big Country way second. Troy Dorchester.
Chad Harden's outfit ran well in Grand Prairie, but outrider penalties on 2 of the 5 nights cost him. Going into the next event, Chad is 10th in the world standings.
Where's our Big Country Energy crew? Chad Harden is with you, a former Ponoka champion.
Before heading to Medicine Hat, the Hardens make a final stop at their home near Pigeon Lake. A new baby could arrive any time, and it makes packing up for the summer even more stressful.
You know what? You're going to love the new trailer. Yeah, you're going to love it. It comes with new toys.
Dory's doing good. She's getting very tired, though. Doctor said any day now, and the baby's supposed to be over 7 pounds. So I'm thinking she wishes it would happen sooner than later, because every day it's getting that much bigger, and she's ready to loosen the load, or lighten the load, I guess you would say.
I just wish I knew where and when I was going to have this baby, because I feel that I have to pack something wherever I go, and I don't know if I want to take the cradle and everything. Do I need it? Not yet. Will I need it? I might. So my diaper bag will come with me, and my hospital bag just in case.
The Hardens are ready and waiting. It could be a dash to the hospital anytime over the next 2 weeks. Kelly Sutherland was ready to battle in Grand Prairie. After night 3, he was sitting pretty in second place. But the next night, a close encounter blocked his shot at the final dash.
Away, you were tightening things up. Duck and dive and drive, cowboy.
Kelly will have to set aside his disappointment to regain his edge in the quest for the world title. Right now, he needs to get everything packed for a summer on the road.
Well, we pack up for 3 months and leave. It's a frantic thing. I mean, we have to pack everything that we think we need for the next 3.5 months. So everybody has to do it. A lot of the people in the north have to pack up and leave. And then the pressure will be on to get to Medicine Hat.
Kelly and his son Marc will travel together for the summer. With double the number of horses, barn crew, and equipment, it's a big job to ensure nothing gets left behind.
We're packing 33 driving horses between the two of us. We've got 21 outriding horses, or at least potential outriding horses. All in all, 54 head. We got 2 liners, 2 holiday trailers, 2 horse trailers, a holiday trailer for the boys, utility trailer that's about 50 feet long that we put the bobcat and everything on. And yeah, just like a bunch of gypsies, we travel down the road.
An important part of this caravan are the barn hands. They've come from all over the country, young men with dreams of becoming cowboys. Throughout the summer, the Sutherlands will employ 6 barn hands. They work sun up to sunset, and Marc is very particular about who he hires and even where they come from.
I have been putting an ad on the HRDC website for, gosh, 6 years. I don't know, maybe longer. I hire them from all over Canada. I've had applications from all over the world, actually. The farther away, the better.
This one isn't tight.
There are high expectations and no excuses when you work for the Sutherlands. It could very well be the toughest barn of all.
Different people on the circuit kind of think you're crazy that you work for them, because you're not just working for one driver, you're working for 2. So you have double the amount of horses, double the amount of work, and you're still getting paid the same amount as one.
Marc's down here and Kelly's up here, and you don't know who to listen to, so you're always just trying to look over your shoulder to see which one's closest to you and then do it their way.
I don't know, it's kind of tough to be able to come in and work with these guys, since, you know, they got a big name and big reputation behind them. I mean, you just try to do the best you can and just go with it.
When I hire these people, I say, you are disposable. The horses are not. I said, we don't manufacture widgets. We train chuckwagon horses. And I look at the chuckwagon horse as what comes out at the end of the assembly line, and I look at the hired hands as the conveyor belt. And if the conveyor belt wears out, that's fine, I replace it. But what comes out at the other end has to be a fine-tuned horse.
Not surprisingly, the turnover is high in this pressure cooker. And keeping all the names straight isn't easy. But Kelly makes it simple.
My nickname's Stretch.
Kelly gave me the nickname Studley.
My nickname's Clean.
Kelly gave me the nickname Moose.
Out of the 1,000 head of horses I've went through, they always get a nickname, so usually try and get a first impression when I meet the guy, and you know, trying not to nickname him something humiliating, but I had a couple guys working for me, I didn't even know their real name for a year, so.
The pay is average, the work hard. The hours are long, and there are no days off.
You gotta love it, and if you don't love it, you're gonna hate it.
I figure that if a 19 or 20-year-old kid is going to come all the way from Ontario to come and work for me, he knows what he wants to do.
As the crew packs up for Medicine Hat, Kelly makes an unsettling discovery. 5 horses are missing. Stretch hits the fence line in search of a break.
Get right up against the fence, and if you see some horse tracks, you know they're out.
Horses don't vanish, but they can be stolen. As they pack up for Medicine Hat, the Sutherlands search for 5 missing horses. The entire crew is on edge. They fear the worst.
I have only had one horse that went completely missing in all the years I've been in Grand Prairie. It was about 5 years ago. I don't know where that horse went. I mean, we did not find a carcass. He just completely vanished.
With no sign of a break in the fence, the whereabouts of the horses is a mystery.
No, what I'm saying, we ran them in the round corral earlier today.
Not those horses, though. They were never there.
After some tense moments, Stretch makes a discovery.
You idiots! Right there in the barn.
Who was in there?
The last person. I know who the last person to get a bale of hay out of there was.
Who?
You.
Yeah, I grabbed the bale. I don't do the doors.
Well, who was your doorman? Apparently he wasn't that good.
I guess not.
I started thinking about when I was walking up, and I was like, no way they could be left in that barn for 2 days.
I didn't think anything of it. I figured the guy who's going to grab the door for me should at least grab the door. That was yesterday. Not yesterday, 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Yeah, I know.
It was an honest but careless mistake. Fortunately, the horses are okay. The bigger problem has more to do with accountability. No one will fess up.
So I'll leave Star off. What about Coral? He's probably okay to go.
It's Marc's responsibility to ensure everything is packed for both Sutherland outfits. It's a busy time, especially with all the attention he's received since Grand Prairie.
I've had a little bit of media attention. I guess there's been some talk about some of the late night shows on the major networks in the States, and from Letterman to Leno.
Marc can laugh about it now, but it wasn't so funny on night 2 of the Grand Prairie Stampede.
And radio stations and TV stations.
There's a horn. The charge is underway.
It was trouble from the start when a buckle broke on Marc's harness. Unable to effectively steer his wagon, there was no stopping his supercharged thoroughbreds as they bolted for the track. His wagon fishtailed out of control, and all Marc could do was hang on for the ride.
I mean, my heart just went to my throat. I just thought, he's hung up, man. He's in trouble, deep trouble. The only fortunate thing is he grabbed onto something to protect himself.
Sandwiched between 2 outfits with no way to steer, Marc's wagon jackknifed, throwing him to the ground. The reins wrapped around his foot, flinging Marc beneath the wagon. He hung on for an entire lap. How Marc escaped serious injury and even death is a question that will echo around the chuckwagon community for generations. The penalties from the wreck have shattered his standings. Many wonder if the incident will have the same effect on his drive to climb back.
I'm not changing my outlook on life, and I'm not changing the way I drive wagons, and I'm not changing anything except my harness. Just like all life's little experiences and life's lessons, some of it stays with you.
Marc's near-death experience and dishonesty among his crew members make this a tough start to a long summer on the road. Officially, it's a desert. But for the past few summers, Medicine Hat looks more like a rainforest when the wagons come to town. Drawing crowds in weather like this is a tough sell. So Rick Fraser jumps right back into the limelight with a stunt designed to rally support for the wagons. Not only does he take his message to the streets, he takes it all the way downtown.
Well, when we got to Medicine Hat here, we wanted to make sure that the people were aware that the chuck wagons were in town here. So that we thought we'd drive down, across the bridge and drive up to the mayor's office at City Hall and slide in and see him and just let him know that, yeah, we're here and we'd like him to come out and watch the wagon races, come and enjoy our Western heritage.
Rick invites driver Colt Cosgrave and a local news crew to join him as he takes advantage of the mayor's open door policy.
Come on in.
Hello, Your Worship. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm Rick Fraser.
Hi, Rick. Very pleased to meet you.
If we don't promote our sport, the world's not going to come to us. We promote our sport because we love it, we believe in it, we want to see it succeed. We'd like to give you this bell buckle, is why we popped in here today.
Oh.
Just to let everybody know that the chuck wagons are here in town. And
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I'll wear that.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you very. That's very kind of you.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
The mayor seems to appreciate his wagon visitors. But not even a unanimous vote from City Council will sway Mother Nature from her agenda. Three straight days of rain. The track is soaked. It's a dire predicament, all too familiar to race director Troy Dorchester. Last year, he went down this same path and faced the same dilemma. Race or no race?
I've been a director here 6 out of the 7 years, and the 1 year I wasn't, it was sunny out, so I think maybe I should retire from being a director at Medicine Hat.
The race committee has a tough decision. Medicine Hat is a 3-day event that runs Friday through Sunday. Pushing it a day means they'll run Monday night, making it tougher to draw a crowd.
You know, the key is the footing for the horses. We can run in pouring rain as long as the footing is good, and that's the key. So if the footing is good, it doesn't really matter how slow you go or how tired they get. It's whether they are going to trip or fall down or slip.
The directors consider their options. Ultimately, safety will be the deciding factor.
They are going to call it postponed. I just don't know how good it's going to go. Lots of guys are optimistic, but I just think it's going to take a lot of drying and don't sound good for tomorrow. It's something we've been dealing with for years and years, and it's probably something we'll be dealing with for quite a few more years. It's cutting in that deep down the backstretch.
It will be a drab existence living on a muddy fairground, waiting for the gray skies to clear. But there are some bright colors on the horizon. A new character joins the wagon community. A man called Pancake. For the last few years, Southern Alberta's rainy season has played havoc with wagon racing here at the Medicine Hat exhibition in Stampede. The tradition continues. Day number 1 is postponed. The forecast, more rain. Around the fairgrounds, teams dig in for what could be a long, muddy weekend. They've traveled great distances, only to wait it out here in the rain. Some have traveled further than others.
What brings me to Canada? Of course, chuckwagon. I live about 250 kilometers up north of New Delhi, in a city called Chandigarh.
You just wanted me to help you.
We have a stud farm back in India where we breed thoroughbreds. We have been into horses for as far as I've been told is as early as 1840. When I went up to the job bank, I had a few chuckwagon teams looking for help. The thing is, we don't have chuckwagon in that part of the world. So this is something very interesting. especially related to horses.
His real name is pronounced Paramveer, but a childhood nickname has become his trademark in the wagon community, Pancake.
Pancake! That's right, how are you? Just get you?
Although he may not look the part, Pancake is fitting right in. The bad weather continues for a second day, threatening the cancellation of the event completely, something that hasn't happened in recent memory. Another directors' meeting means another tough decision.
They just postponed another day of racing. They're going to push us into Tuesday. Forecasts don't look good, and a lot of guys are getting pretty sour. Horses need to work, and it just makes it for a long weekend. And hopefully things change here in the next 24 hours and the sun comes out. It does dry fast here, and that's what we're hoping, is try and get our 3 days in.
The stands sit empty for another night. Around the camps, boredom is now the greatest concern.
Actually, everyone gets pretty down, you know, everyone wants to race. They just want something to do.
I guess everyone's a little antsy, you know. We keep waiting to race, and instead we just end up slogging through the mud here.
Just gotta look for something to do, pretty much. Keep busy. You know, brush horses, do whatever it takes.
The chuckwagon community manages the downtime, but the animals can't. It's been over 5 days since the horses had any exercise. Too long for thoroughbreds born to run.
Right now they're just so unsettled because they're feeling so good, and they're all revved up, no place to go, you know.
Eventually, a few break loose from the pens. Containing their excess energy keeps everyone busy, including Pancake.
They just broke the fence and they ran out. Good thing they kind of got cornered up there, or else these guys would have, you know, given us a chase. I think what is more important is they could have got hurt, and can't afford that at all. That is definitely a big no.
A third day of heavy rain means another cancellation and even more headaches for the race directors.
I'm definitely not looking forward to going back to the barns and facing the boys, because everybody's grumbling around. Their horses are mad. Then you turn them out, and they usually buck and play. Now they're mad. They're kicking at each other to hurt, not to play kick. And we're all wanting to just move on and get going.
The good news is the weather is beginning to clear. The bad news, the track needs repair. It's going to take time and money.
If we can get the work done and it's safe, so be it.
The equipment guys were here at 8 o'clock this morning. We met with them and looked at the track. They're gonna have to pump in probably 10,000, 15,000, who knows, maybe 20, but I just don't feel like it's gonna work.
At sunrise tomorrow, heavy equipment will make a last-ditch effort to repair the track and save the event. Desperate to do something, drivers hook teams in the fields around their camps and try to let their animals blow off some steam. But it's a Band-Aid solution. The track is what they really need, and they won't get access to it until the first night of racing. It'll be a wild time when the horn finally sounds. The improved weather has spirits rebounding at the Sutherland camp. But that's about to change. One of the barn hands has smashed Kelly's truck, and this time, the culprit can't hide. Before leaving for Medicine Hat, 5 Sutherland horses went missing. They were found locked in the hay shed. None of the barn hands would take responsibility. Now, someone has smashed Kelly's truck, and there's no denying who's to blame.
I went to pull out by myself, and it was a little dark, and I was trying to avoid hitting the one pole on the left side, and I backed up too far, and I ended up sideswiping the right pole, trying to make a right-hand turn, made about 1.5 foot dent into the cab, and that's about it.
I guess he went and seen Kelly about 12 o'clock at night, and he's like, Kelly, I gotta tell you something. You wrecked your truck. You know the halfways of preventing things like that from happening, eh?
Clean takes his share of ribbing for the mistake, made worse because he's not gelling with his team.
We don't eat together, we don't talk to each other, and there's no cooperation or coordination here. It's just do what needs to get done, and that's it.
I can't say I'm very fond of the individual. I work with him because I have to work with him. But when I have my own time, I like my own time to myself.
I don't really socialize a lot with Clean. Typically, he's doing his own thing. I'm usually pretty sociable with Studley and Stretch.
Barn hands lead an intense lifestyle, working and living together on the road. Those who choose to stay on the outside have a long and difficult summer ahead.
I want to be who I want to be, and if you don't like it, then move on or find a way to get along.
Starved for some activity, a group of wagon folk hit the town for a little dancing.
Yeah, we like to go out and dance, Sue and I. We just like to go out and buzz around the dance floor a little bit and cuddle together and just get at her.
Well, you got a leather coat on tonight and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Chad Harden sees the downtime as an opportunity to introduce Pancake to the Western nightlife. In true cowboy spirit, Pancake dives right into the action.
At first, it was a little bizarre to see somebody with a turban, and he could really hop and pop around the floor. And it was quite a feast for my eyes looking at this wonderful, gorgeous woman from the state of Alberta.
But not everyone accepts this very different looking cowboy.
As a matter of fact, I was hesitant as to how would everybody react. All you see is ball caps and cowboy hats, and there's just one turban in there. Whoa.
A few rejections aside, it's clear that Pancake is accepted.
So I know that the chuckwagon family's starting to get along with him and start to take him out, and he's having a lot of fun with it. He's definitely a social butterfly around here.
The improved forecast has the race directors ready to gamble.
Mother Nature obviously brought us to the limits this year, and if the equipment can actually get that material off the track and get the sand on the track to the satisfaction of the drivers, then we'll do that.
There are just 12 hours to completely resurface the track, or this event is over.
We're getting it down to a good hard base. It looks like it's dry and weather today, so if everything goes well, it should be a reasonably good track tonight.
Would I be surprised if we didn't run? No. Would I be surprised if we did run? No. Just the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, I think everybody's itching around here to get going. I think there's lots of drivers with concerns about horses. I think their biggest concern is just having too much energy built up in their horses and not the edge off them and not sure what's going to happen when they pull into the barrels tonight.
There's a lot on the line. ticket sales, driver standings, their momentum, and the ever-important sponsorship.
I'm thinking the crowds will be down substantially. The biggest problem is a local sponsor, and he spent anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000, and then doesn't get to fly his canvas, cannot bring his people. Those are the ones that really suffer, and I think that that's why it's of utmost importance to run. If we have all the safety issues covered, then it's our obligation as drivers to compete.
The machines strip the track and rebuild the infield. At this rate, the track just might be ready in time, as long as Mother Nature cooperates. The heavy rains in Medicine Hat have finally stopped. The break in the weather offers race directors one last opportunity to save the event. To do so, they have to wager almost $15,000 in costs to resurface the track. By 6 p.m., they'll know if the gamble was worth it. The downtime has given Rick Fraser plenty of opportunity to promote his sport in Medicine Hat. He paid a special visit to City Hall, attended autograph sessions, and now he's headed for the airwaves.
Good morning, it's City 37, and here joining us in studio from the Dodge World Pro Truck Tour, we've got Shane Carter and Rick Fraser, a couple of the drivers. Who cares about the weather, right?
Oh, absolutely. All the farmers should come out, you know, just to support us, because we do bring rain every year we come here.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us here tonight. I'm Les McIntyre. It is my pleasure to be your host for tonight's show as we bring you 36 daredevil drivers from the World Professional Chuckwagon Association. I want to say thank you to our Medicine Hat Stampede Committee. They have worked all weekend long bringing this show back from the swamp. Thank you very much, everyone that is involved.
The gamble pays off. Clear skies and a refurbished track mean the wagons will race. But not even a sunny evening, nor Rick Fraser's media blitz, can fill the stands on a Monday. Drivers with the fewest points on the tour run in the early heats. Mark Sutherland's wreck in Grand Prairie has put him in a running order he's not accustomed to. Heat number 1. It also means he'll be first to test the new track.
There's certainly some uncertainty how the track's gonna turn out. There's no doubt that the first heat will be the guinea pigs, and I just happen to be in the first heat, and I'm not that happy about it because that means you don't have very many points. So I'm gonna try to gain some points and get the heck out of there.
There's the horde, and the charge is underway. Marc Sutherland, underground oil field, quick on that two-barrel as Outriders load up and out up. Ryan Mahan steals the rail away from him. Marc Sutherland on the outside. Dodge trucks and Cam Shred better turn up that Hemi power. He is in hot pursuit. Back about 4 or 5 lengths is Dodge trucks and Cam.
The track holds. It's 3 days late, but the Medicine Hat event is finally underway.
And Marc Sutherland, a veteran driver of some 13 years, has control in the middle of that racetrack with underground oil field services. As Marc Sutherland sets him into the home stretch drive. Medicine Hat, it's your turn to come alive. Marc Sutherland, underground oil field, best of company by 1 3/4 at the finish line.
With nowhere to go but up, Marc grabs a decisive win. His time will be good enough to claim 9th overall for the night. Saddled by outrider penalties at the previous event, Chad Harden looks for a clean run tonight to improve his 10th place position in the world standings. He'll run against 18th place Kelly Sutherland.
Horn sounds and a burst of speed is what you need. Kelly Sutherland and Doug Irvine dueling out onto that track. On the 1 and 2 barrel, Big Country Energy, Chad Harden in behind. Kelly Sutherland holding him off, doesn't want to go to the rail too soon. Outriders are clear, we've got us a wagon race.
Weather delays and uncertain track conditions can affect a driver's mental game. But when the horn sounds, it's business as usual for a veteran like Kelly.
Kelly Sutherland, Rebel Rental, an 8-time world champion, smokes him into that 4th and final turn, and Chad Harden won't give up. Kelly Sutherland opens him up another notch. Rebel Rentals and 10-time Calgary champion Sutherland by 3/4. Chad Harden second, and Doug Irvine have to settle for third.
This one belongs to Kelly. Chad crossed the line in a close second, but a quick glance at one of his barrels reveals heartbreak.
Southbound and down, he is flying into the lead. Hugh Sinclair skims the top of the 1 barrel, slides out alongside as they go at it wheel to wheel. Here we go, H&E oil field, Obrimo Willow out in front by 2. The rainbow is up, the sun is out, and the son of Bert Prado is best of company by 2.
Drivers are just happy to be racing in Medicine Hat. The weekend was lost to rain, but Monday, the action heats up.
Kelly Sutherland smokes him into that 4th and final turn, and Chad Harden won't give up, rolling at him from the inside as they headed your way. Rebel.
Chad Harden and Kelly Sutherland duel it out in heat number 10. At the finish line, Chad was right on Kelly's tail feathers, but a glance to the infield shows he's taken yet another penalty.
Well, we're not too sure what happened. We had a malfunction at the junction. The horn went and crunched the barrel. We just rolled it around. Didn't even run it over, but rolled it. So regroup, get up in the morning and hook 2 teams in the morning, hopefully get something fresh for tomorrow night.
The 5-second penalty puts Chad last in the heat and 28th for the day.
Costly fight.
The horn and the charge is underway. Rick Fraser quick on that number 1 barrel. Lightning Luke Tournier from the outside, and Noel Cuthbertson up the middle.
With his media stunts behind him, Rick Fraser can finally focus on wagon racing.
Rick Fraser, the 2003 Medicine Hat chuckwagon champion, is in control as they head for that backstretch run. Outriders in tow, but it's Dawn's Drywall Supplies. They're leaders on the track tonight by a length of a little bit. Rick Fraser is on a burn. Here comes Norm Cuthbertson with a late charge. He runs out of racetrack. Rick Fraser by a half. Norm Cuthbertson second, and Luke Tournier rolls in to be third in heat number 11.
Rick takes first in his heat and places second overall for the day.
I'm very pleased with how they went. Very pleased. Obviously, second day money. Can't complain with that.
It was a long time coming, but day number 1 at Medicine Hat is finally in the books. After days of waiting in the rain, wagon teams in Medicine Hat rush for the track to get in some practice. Each driver has at least 2 teams of 4 horses needing exercise. It's a traffic jam as outfits stack up and await their turn on the infield.
Well, welcome to night number 2 here on our Dodge Tour. Medicine Hat is the second stop
of 10 on the Dodge Tour. We were in Grand Prairie just 1 week ago.
Every heat, the pressure is on Marc Sutherland as he tries to climb back from last place in the world standings.
There's a horn and the charge is underway. Stoves go in, Outriders mount up, and Underground Oilfield Services Marc Sutherland gets him southbound and down in a hurry. Takes that lead by 2. Dodge trucks better turn on that heavy power capture. Tucking up in position.
Your adrenaline gets going and you let it out, and I usually don't do that, but I knew it was a good run, and the horses work good, and this sport's a great sport when those horses work good.
Look at Marc Sutherland fly. He's all alone, but see, he's looking back. He needs 2 black-shirted Outriders to come into tow. Underground Oilfield sets him up for the home stretch drive. Medicine Hat, it's your turn to come alive. Sutherland with a runaway tonight. Smokes him into the infield. Marc Sutherland will get there by 5. Look at the duel for second and third.
His near tragedy in Grand Prairie is now history. Marc runs away with his heat to clock the top time of the night. It puts him 3rd in the show, setting him up for a chance to win it all on the final night. But with so much ground to make up in the world standings, Marc is already looking beyond this victory.
Aren't you? Yeah, well, you know, I mean, it's just one race, not trying to downplay what happened, because the horses work great, and I got day money, and it's been so damn long. I don't think we had cell phones or digital cameras last time I did it. It's a big jump from where I was, but it's still going to be pretty tough climbing.
A long time coming.
2002 was the year Kelly Sutherland won the Medicine Hat Tour show. He's on the 3-barrel. Spartan controls Chad Harden, guides him on to 2.
Chad Harden and Kelly Sutherland prepare to go at it again.
1 barrel, place your bet. There's the horn, we're off in a hurry. B&R Eccles, Doug Irvine, quick got the 1 barrel. There goes Rebel Rentals and Kelly Sutherland from the extreme outside. Flying into position, can he get the rail? Look at him turn up the speed. Those thoroughbreds are ready, they're hot. Doug Irvine, B&R Eccles Transportation now pushes Mr. Sutherland to the middle of the track as they duel it out. Wheel to wheel, they'll bang a little steel down that backstretch. Chad Harden, Spartan controls with that rail advantage, but he needs some speed to catch the Sutherland thoroughbreds tonight. Doug Irvine on the inside, but Kelly Sutherland leads that drive again. He opens them up a notch. Rebel Rentals and Kelly by a half. Doug Irvine will be second, and Chad Harden's in a hard closing 3rd in heat number 10.
Kelly wins the heat. He's 4th overall. Chad will have to settle for 3rd and 15th overall. But Chad can breathe a little easier. He finally has a penalty-free run. The celebration is short-lived as Chad's horses spook in the barns. Mother Nature has made wagon racing at the Medicine Hat Exhibition and Stampede a hellish event. Even the animals seem to have had enough.
Whoa, 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 grab a hold of him, Logan. Whoa, 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 Freddie, whoa. Whoa, whoa, Fred, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, just with the bugs around here, the sand flies with the horses are a little antsy when you're hooking and unhooking. And my deal is the quicker you get in there, the quicker we get him unhooked, the quicker he's going to quit fighting and the better off he's going to be too. So I'd rather get up on the head where you know he can't kick you and you can grab his ear. It's a lot safer actually up on the head, but nobody wants to get up there because he's ramming and jamming back and forth. So I mean, the biggest thing is get him eared so we're thinking about something else instead of actual where they were kicking and stuff. I seen how you got scared though and ran again.
horn sounds and they're off in a hurry. Good start right across the board. Oh, Luke, don't crunch that barrel. Lightning Luke and Halliburton Energy cranks him out there to steal the rail with Ricky Fraser in hot pursuit. He's patching wheels right now with Norm Cuthberts and Rod Streeper trucking.
Rick Fraser is in second place, heading into night number 2.
Chasing down Luke Tournier, Halliburton.
With another good run, he'll have an excellent shot at winning this event on night number 3.
On the inside with Don's drywall supplies. He's going to have to rock that turn. And Lightning Luke Tournier leads the drive to the wire. Here comes Norm Cuthbertson on the outside. Lightning Luke holds on. Look at the race for second place. Norm Cuthbertson by a nose. Rick Fraser will be third in heat number 11.
Rick's third place finish leaves him 5th overall, but he's still within striking distance of the lead. As day number 2 draws to a close, calm settles over the fairgrounds. The routine of racing has restored harmony to the wagon community. But just when it looked like Mother Nature was on their side, she turns her back on the wagons for day number 3. Torrential rains destroy the track and put a sudden end to the Medicine Hat wagon races. Some will leave here with unfinished business. Others will take comfort knowing that salvaging 2 out of 3 days during this kind of weather was nothing short of a miracle.